Hey golfers, Dean with golfallyear.com, and today I'm going to be talking about my 2020 practice plan. After reading a few books and looking online at a few different ideas, I've come up with a practice plan that I think is going to get me over the hump of breaking 80 consistently. That has been my goal the last couple of years, and I'm just at that verge. I'm an 8 handicap, so I'm trying to get down to about a 6 or 7 so that I know that I'm going to be breaking 80 consistently. And so let's talk about how I'm going to go about doing that and what my actual practice plan is. Right. So what do I have to do to be in that 10% of all golfers that break 80? There are a few key statistics that you need to keep in mind as you are playing and as I'm going to be trying to break 80. These are things that I will need to do. Number 1, I need to keep it in the fairway 60% of the time. Okay, if I can do that and keep the ball in play, I'm going to have a good chance at par or birdie. Number 2, I need to hit a lot of greens. I need to hit 8 greens or more to be on path to break 80. And so I really need to get some a go-to shot and really need to perfect my irons and get them so they're dialed in. Number 3, you need to be really accurate on the par threes. You need to get it on the green 75% of the time. That's a huge deal. And then you need to be able to birdie. You need to have 2 birdies around. And so again, you need to dial in some wedges. You need to dial in some shots and really get that so you can birdie holes. I'm just going to be focusing on how to break 80 using the Optishot, but you also need to be very good at putting, and you need to be a good chipper. And so putting, you need 31 putts during the round, and you need to be able to get up and down. So you need to avoid bogeys, in other words. So those are some of the keys that I'm going to be focusing on in my practice plan. All right, practice. Okay, we're going to talk about practice. And I read a book that I really liked that focused on the idea of practice and putting in the effort. And that was a book called Talent is Overrated. And what they talk about in that book, and they use a lot of golf examples in that book, they talk about deliberate practice. And so, what is deliberate practice? Well, deliberate practice, one, is making sure that you are repeating something over and over and over again. And as you are repeating that, you're picking out specific things to work on. In the book, they talk about Tiger Woods and how he would pick a buried sand trap shot, and he would work on that over and over and over again. And so you need to be specific in what you want to work on. And then the practice should be very difficult mentally. It should really push you to the edge. It should not be truly fun in many ways, though I need to incorporate a little bit of fun to keep going and to push myself to keep going. But it should be something that is going to really test your skill and test your ability. And so that is deliberate practice. So when I put together this plan, I was focused on making sure that it was deliberate practice, that I was going to repeat things, and that I was going to pick out specific things that I wanted to work on. And so, as you see, you will see some of those qualities in this practice plan. Okay, so what is my Optishot practice going to actually look like? Well, what I plan to do is I plan to start out hitting golf balls 3 days a week. I think that will allow me some flexibility with my family and those types of things. And I'm going to be hitting 110 balls during each practice session. And I'm going to break it up. it also talked about in the book how you do not want to just go out and hit 110 balls in a row. You want to make sure you break it up. And so I'm breaking it up into 30 um, shot chunks. That will be 4 different stages of um, hitting golf balls, or 4 different clubs that I'm going to be using to hit the golf balls. I'm going to start with a wedge. I will then hit my 9 iron, and then I'm also going to hit a 6 iron, and I'm going to hit my driver to start, and then I can also switch up those clubs as I go. For the driver, I'm only going to actually hit 20, so that's where I get the 110 shots. So what I've done is I've broken up the shots into those 4 different clubs or 4 different stages, and then I've chosen to pick different aspects of each of the shots to focus on. And so let's talk about that. The 3 aspects that I want to focus on for each club is number 1, contact. Just thinking about how to hit the ball better and to hit more greens and to give myself more opportunities for birdies. Also with your driver to hit the ball further. It all starts with contact. And so I'm going to focus and hit just 10 balls with each of those clubs and just look at where the ball hits on my golf club. And Optishot does a good thing of doing that, in which they will tell you if it's center, if it's off the toe, if it's off the heel, etc. And so I'll focus on 10 shots, keep track of those 10 shots, and mark it down how many I get out of 10 on contact. The second phase is to work on my go-to shot. My go-to shot, I want to hit a draw. And the optimal statistics that I'm going to be looking at for 10 shots is I'm going to look at, do I have an inside-out path? It has to be inside out. And does the club face angle equal 2 degrees open to square? So I'm looking for that perfect draw. And if I can get it where my club path is inside out and my club face angle is open 2.0, 2 degrees to square, anywhere in that range, I will count it as a point, and I'm going to hit 10 shots and keep track of how many I can get out of 10. And then the last phase is going to be different for each club. It's going to be kind of a drill or a game. The first one, and I'll talk about this if you want more information, I'll put it on my website, golfallyear.com. You can go to there. I'll have the Excel program that I have there. You can download that, and it'll also have explanations of all the different drills and the practice plan. So if you want to take a look at that at golfallyear.com, please do so. But what it's going to be is I'm going to do what is called knockout. For my short wedges, I'm going to pick a distance. I'm going to start at 50 yards, and then I would move to 60, 70, 80, 90, and then back 80, 70, 60, 50 for 10 shots. But what I have to do is I have to hit, starting at 50 yards, I have to hit the ball within 3 yards of 50 yards. Once I do that, I can move to 60 yards. And then I keep hitting till I hit all 10 balls, and I keep track of how many knockouts I get. I call it a knockout if it's within 3 yards of my target. So I start at 50. If I hit within 3 yards of 50, I move to 60. If I hit within 3 yards of 60, I move to 70, et cetera, et cetera. And so that is the game that I'm going to play with my wedges. With the short irons, my 9 iron, 8 iron, 7 iron, I'm going to use the pinpoint targets on the Optishot. And so I'm going to keep track of how many I can get within 15 feet. That's the white circle. Out of 10 shots, how many do I get? And then with the 6, 5, and 4 irons, I'm also going to do that. And I'm going to focus on the green targets on that one. And so I'm looking to get how many can I get inside the green, which is actually 30 feet, which will be 30 feet. And so how many can I get within that distance? My driver, I'm going to do a little bit different. I'm only going to do two things. I'm going to go contact, and then I'm not going to do the go to. What I'm going to do is I'm going to look to keep it in the fairway. So I'm going to put the lines on Optishot and see how many out of 10 I can get between the middle lines. So I think it's 20 yards apart. And so I'm going to look to see how many shots I can actually put in the middle of the fairway. Again, working on my fairway percentage. And so that's kind of the breakdown of what I'm going to look to. Let me wrap it up and explain how I'm going to keep track. So I'm going to be hitting 10 shots uh, and keeping track of how many I get out of 10 for each of the three stages, uh, the contact, the go-to shot, and then the game or drill that I was going to play, the knockout and the target pins. And I'm going to keep track of those, and I'm going to mark it based on the percentage. 0 to 20% is a green level. A yellow level is from 21 to 49% is yellow. Orange is if I can get 50%, so 5 out of 10. That would be orange, 50 to 69%. And then the red is what I'm really looking to get into. That is the 70%. I want to be able to hit these shots 70% of the time. If I feel that I can do it 7 out of 10 times, I can play better golf, and I think I can break 80. So that's the red level. And so I'm going to keep track. I'm going to use the Excel, put in the different colors. You can really see, and it really breaks down what I'm doing well, what I'm not, and how to improve. And so hopefully, after hitting 110 balls a day, keeping track of each of those stages, breaking it up into the individual 10 shot um, uh, groups, hopefully I'll be able to look at my stats and look at my um, game and really assess where I need to work and what I need to improve on. I will then also take and hopefully spend a little bit of time on my putting outside. I have a little putting green outside, and also on chipping in my yard. And so those are other things I will do outside of just hitting the Optishot. But this is just the Optishot. I think 110 balls, that's perfect. It's a large bucket at the driving range. If you think about that, I think at the driving range I have, it has 108 balls in it. The Optishot is perfect for this. I'm going to get data. I'm going to be able to work and improve and get better at golf. So there you have, there's kind of my practice plan. Again, go to golfallyear.com and you can get the download and really check it out if you're interested. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you have ideas. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm really working on helping golfers get better at golf using the budget simulators. So take a look at my other videos and comment down below. All right, have a great day and enjoy your golf.